morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We have a stretching class this morning. Give you guys a few minutes to jump on in. Nice and simple, nice and easy. Nothing too busy, pretty straightforward. Sorry, coffee is still getting to my brain. We're just gonna do some nice full body stretches, moving from pretty much the top of our body all the way down to the bottom, loosening everything up, getting us ready for our Wednesday. That is it. Give you guys a few seconds here. If you have a mat or something that you can lay on the ground just to get a little more comfortable, grab that. We are going to start in a seated position, probably one of my favorite ways to start stretching. Have a water by you if you'd like. Maybe you want your morning tea or coffee next to you as well. Alrighty, we're gonna get going here. So you're starting in a seated position. If you don't want to be crisscross, that is fine. If you can be planted flat on the ground, you can be in a butterfly position, whatever you feel like you need. You're gonna flip those hands over if you are in a position that you can have your hands flipped. Palms are going to be facing the ceiling. Let's just start taking a few deep breaths here. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Letting that breath hit every single part of our body, so it's going all the way up through our head and then exhaling all the way out through our toes. Make sure you're taking a full deep breath, filling your chest with air, filling up those lungs, and then exhaling everything out. Continue your breath here, and let's just take a small neck stretch, tilting the head side to side. Your eyes can be closed or they can be open. Whatever's comfortable for you. From here, let's continue the circle, half circle to the front. Be nice and generous with this. There's no way you're gonna hurt your neck rolling it to the front. So really give yourself a nice generous stretch. I, for one, hold a lot of my tension in my neck, especially if I sleep on it wrong, which I did last night. So I'm gonna be sure to really breathe into my stretch here, opening my muscles up. Let's continue this half circle to the back, and as we go back, as always, keep that 2-finger space so we're not pinching any nerves in the back of our neck. Let's do a full circle now. Take it nice and slow. Again, be super generous. We never want to rush through our stretches. Go a few times both ways. Add the shoulders this time. Take a little tiny contraction and then an arch starting to get those shoulders, the upper body incorporated into our stretch. And once again, make sure you go both ways. We are always breathing here. Beautiful. If you want to give your neck a little bit extra of a stretch, you're going to lace those fingers, place it behind your head, and gently press up and over, pressing that chin down towards the ground. Let your hands fall down to your sides and let yourself just hunch over here. Shoulders can be slumped. Do not worry about your posture right now. Just hunch over. Exhale to let yourself really relax here. Take a little tiny half circle with the neck. You're going to feel a little bit more tension on either side because we are hunched over. That's okay. Breathe through it. Make sure it's not painful. But once again, you're not going to hurt yourself in this stretch as long as you breathe through it. Beautiful. Bring the soles of the feet together if they are not already. So we're in a little butterfly position here, as I like to call it. Let's check that posture. Grab those ankles and bring yourself up. Press those shoulders down. You can even roll them back to press down here. Nice long spine. Our supine spine, the lower part of our spine, is pressing up. We're sitting on our sits bones, staying nice and long here. Check in with that breath. Beautiful. From here, you're going to take that contraction, again, pulling your navel into your spine, and try to reach your toes, your nose to your toes. I always mess that up, nose to toes. So getting that nice arcing stretch here. Staying over here, I want you to walk your hands over to your right knee. So you're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch in your oblique now. Trying to get your nose to your right knee. Beautiful. Let's walk it through the center over to the left knee. And bringing it back to the center. Try to release a little bit farther into your stretch here. Hands can be on the toes, they can be on the ground, ankles, whatever's comfortable for you. Exhale into this position for a moment, keeping that head nice and relaxed. And from here, tuck that chin, roll it up nice and slow. Beautiful. Let's get off from this seated position for a moment. Give our booty a little break. Shifting onto your knees. If this is uncomfortable, you don't want to be on your knees, you can stay in a seated position. You can even stand up for this. We're just going to start working through the shoulders, opening up the chest, the shoulders, and the arms. Okay, so just take a little shift here. Pressing one shoulder up towards one ear, then switching. As always, we're breathing through these stretches. Beautiful. We're going to try to shift that right shoulder down. Left shoulder can come up. Just take a little press here. So it looks a little awkward, but we're just starting to loosen up the shoulder here. We're going to extend that left arm up in just a second. Here we go. Let's extend that left arm up through the shoulder, straight up towards the ceiling. That right shoulder can be a little bit towards the ear, but try not to let it crunch all the way. Try to keep a little tiny space here, reaching those left fingers up towards the ceiling. You're going to feel a nice pull here, an opening of that oblique. That is what we want to feel. Good job. Bring that arm back down through the shoulder. And let's switch. Right shoulder up, left hand on the ground. Just hold it here for a quick second. And extend that hand straight up through the shoulder. And bring it back down. Both hands are on the ground in front of us. Let's stretch out those wrists. If you are hyperextended, this is the one time that you can take a little tiny press into your hyperextension. I don't want you to really like slam into it or press into it, but you can take a little tiny press. Sometimes it's nice to feel that hyperextension, the rotation. We'll just do it for a quick second. Good. Bend those elbows, press into the wrists. Feel that nice stretch. Some wrists are more flexible than others. So some of you might be super down, some of you might just be a little tiny bend in the elbows, whatever is best for you. Good. So now this one's a little more gentle. We don't want to press too hard. We're going to flip those wrists. Do the same thing. Don't hyperextend here. Just focus on stretching gently those outside parts of the wrists. Beautiful. Take a little wrist circle, shake out, loosen it up. Let's open up that chest, work those shoulders. Lace those fingers behind your back, so this behind that back, and just gently press your chest up towards the sky. You can look up, close those eyes, do whatever you'd like. Beautiful. Come back to a neutral spine, keeping that chest open, shoulders pressing down. Send both of those arms straight out to the side and just feel like you're pressing against something. Create a little resistance here. bring both of those arms in. We're gonna cross one over the other. If you can, take a little twist to connect those hands, or you can keep it here if that's enough for you. Feeling your stretch in your shoulders. And open it back up. And switch other hand on top. And open it back up one time. Reach those hands straight up through the shoulders. Create a nice space here, ear to shoulder. Pressing down, engaging actively here. Fingers going straight up towards the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Nice and deep, check back in. If you're breathing. And let those hands fall down to the side and give yourself another little posture break. Little contraction here. Don't worry about how your posture is for a second. Just relax. Slump here. Beautiful. Let's move into the lower body. We're going to start on our mat here. Laying back. Feet are going to be flat on the mat, hip width apart, a nice neutral position. Hands are going to be right under your hip bones here. There's a little tiny space that you create when you're in this position, so that's where you can rest your wrists, okay? Elbows are resting on the ground. Nice and simple. That spine, we're going to try to create a neutral spine. So some of us might have a little bit more of an arch, some of us might have a little bit more of a contraction. Try to shift so that you're as neutral as possible. So that means that your sits bones are facing the wall, and our lower spine, the very low part of our spine, is resting nice and evenly as we can get it on the mat here. You might have to take a little tiny shift. Try to get as comfortable as you can in this position. You might feel a little crack, little shifting. That is okay. That just means everything is getting aligned. So take a second here and get comfortable. Focus that breath. Good. Now I want you to put your hands on your hips and actively tilt those hips so there's a contraction. So now your glutes might come off the ground a little bit. Your spine is pressing even farther into the mat here. And let's counteract this movement by creating a space, arching. Sits bones are on the mat as much as possible. And bring it back to your neutral. All right, now that we felt those extremes, let's literally try to find our neutral here and keep it as we open those knees. Stay here for a second. Wake my computer back up for our music. You're staying in that neutral position. If your hips are cracking, that's okay. It means that stuff is getting all aligned. Sorry about that noise. I think they might be doing some work outside. Just try to listen to my voice and the music. Don't let it distract you. So our knees are nice and open here. We're feeling an opening in the hips. We're still trying to keep that spine as neutral as possible. Open those arms up in line with the shoulders and just lay here. Don't think about doing anything active. Just breathe into this position. Bring those feet back flat on the mat. Hands in, back in that position. Beautiful. Now you're going to pick those feet up off the ground, flex them. Ankles are in line with the knees are in line with the hips. So you have a nice 90-degree angle here. Take a little ankle roll in both ankles. Go clockwise and counterclockwise. They can both be going at the same, or you can be doing some opposite circles here. Whatever you need. Loosen those ankles up. You can also take a little shake if you'd like. Now you're gonna grab those knees with both hands, pull them in towards your chest, and just take a little rock here on the mat. Shifting through that neutral spine. Gentle rock back and forth. Beautiful. Let it extend that left leg out on the mat. Right leg stays in. Now we're going to actively try to pull that knee in towards our chest. You can do another little ankle circle if you'd like with that right ankle. We're going to gently work into the hamstring now. So there's several different ways that you can grab for this stretch. Our easiest is going to be on the quad, okay? You're going to try to straighten your knee as much as possible. But once you really feel that straighten, like you can't go anymore, that's when you're going to stop. This is number one. Number two is going to be grabbing for that calf, okay? So that's going to help you pull a little bit closer. Number three, you're going to start with a bent leg. Grab the sole of your foot and straighten the knee here. So whichever is best for you, go into that now. You might be able to start here, work your way to here, or you might be staying here. Totally fine. It is your stretch. However, you're going to work through your hamstrings as much as possible. That's what I want you to do. And really make sure you're breathing for this. Hamstrings are another part of the body that are usually very tight. So I want you to send as much breath as you can to your hamstrings. If you need to take it through a bend and a straighten, just to give yourself a little breather, you can. Whatever you need to do to work out that hamstring. Few more seconds here. Keep breathing. And relax. Let that knee fall open. Cross your foot onto your left leg. Keeping that left leg straight, you're going to feel a nice opening on top of your quad and your hip here. It's like a laying down figure four with a straight supporting leg. Beautiful. Let's switch. Right leg goes out on the mat, left knee comes in. Once again, give that ankle a little circle if you'd like. I'm cracking all over the place today. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Feels good. My body really needed a stretch, I guess. Actively pulling that knee in towards our chest. Alrighty, from here, grabbing wherever we need on the leg to stretch it up. This leg is definitely much tighter than my other one, so I'm going to grab a different place than I did in my right leg, at least to start. Breathing through it. You can do the little breath challenge I like to do where you inhale and when you exhale you try to pull a little closer. You can do that, or again you can work through the bend and stretch method. Whatever is best for you. Few more moments here. And relax that leg. Place it over right above your knee on your right leg and let that left knee fall open. Good, left leg meets the right. We are laying nice and long on our mat here. Let's reach those hands up overhead. Reaching as far as you can to both sides of the room. And then relax. Just laying here on your mat. And again, reach up as far as you can, both sides of the room. And relax. And one more time, reach, reach, reach. And relax. Working that right leg again, bringing it up and crossing it over to open up that lower spine again. Feel a nice stretch here. Right arm can be open to the side to provide a little bit more of a stretch. And unwind slowly. Switch, left leg across. Left arm opens up. And unwind here. Hug both those knees in again and take a little rock. Grab under those knees, rock yourself up to a seated position. You're gonna flip over here, opening those knees up nice and wide, generous child's pose here. Knees are on either. You're gonna walk those hands forward on your mat here. And just feel a nice stretch here. Trying to pull those fingers a little bit farther. You're gonna feel like your arms are almost pulling out of their sockets, but make sure it doesn't hurt. So just a nice active stretch. Beautiful. Walk it up. From here, square everything off. We're in a nice neutral position here. And gently go through cat and cow. At your own pace. Super simple. Arching and then contracting. And make sure you're breathing. Take a few more at your own pace. Tuck those toes and gently press it up to a downward dog. Try to press those heels down into the mat. Feeling a nice lengthening in the Achilles. You can also bend to stretch. You can also walk through the feet here. Good. From here, we're going to bring that right foot in between our hands. Nice simple lunge. If you'd like to keep it down, you can, or you can bring it up, whatever's most comfortable for you. No matter what, that knee is staying over the ankle. From here, you're going to stretch that front knee, so both knees are nice and long. You're going to try to press down that front hamstring. From here, you're going to shift both of those toes front and just hang over here. You can take a little shift into the hips. I love this stretch. Little tiny shift. Opening it up. If you can, release those hands, grab your elbows, and just take a little swing. Beautiful. Hands back on the ground. Reverse it. Walk it over to the left leg. Try to press down that left hamstring. Make sure you're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. Let's take it to a lunge. Knee is always over the ankle, however you want to be, fully up or down. From here, I want you to pull that back leg in. We have a little pretzel here. Nice and simple. Instead of taking our twist, we're gonna actually try to shift those legs in a little farther, have that front knee fall down, and then just take a little stretch. Opening up those hips. Relax however you need here. You might be still up like this, totally fine. Foot might not even be tucked. If this is enough for you, keep it. And slowly unwind. Let's do the other side. Pulling that front foot in as much as possible. Whatever gives you that opening feeling. And take your stretch forward. Slowly unwinding, bringing it back to how we started. So you can either be crisscross, butterfly, you can be standing, whatever is comfortable for you. Let's just focus our breath back, full circle here. So once again, if you can, turn those palms so they are facing the ceiling. Let's check in with our breath. Last few moments here. And as you're breathing, I just want you to try to really focus on clearing the mind. This past week has definitely been a lot. There's been a lot going on, so let's try to breathe through that for a few moments. Give ourselves this time to really release. Focusing our thoughts, focusing our energy, focusing our breath. Take a few more nice deep breaths here, inhaling in through the nose, full breath. And then exhaling every single last piece of breath out. Beautiful work, everyone. You are all done. I hope you had a good midweek stretch. I know I definitely needed that. I feel much more energized, ready for the rest of my day, the rest of my week. So thank you guys so much for joining. Have a good one. See you later.